Did your the training with martial arts kind of create a lot of that tenacity that you had and that toughness as well?
I think so, absolutely. You know, definitely my martial arts teacher was very hard on me. He was emotionally hard on me. He expected a lot out of me. I think there were times when he pressed me to see if I would quit or I would stay. And I think that helped me with a lot of the psychological difficulty that comes with being an actor. You know, it's very emotionally and psychologically challenging because you're constantly in a position of trying to find work, constantly putting yourself out there in auditions, and 99 out of 100 times you're being rejected, and you have to learn to take that rejection and not see it as a failure, but to learn from it. To, for me, I would say, okay, maybe I got to audition for somebody that didn't know who I was. Maybe I got to prepare for a role that was sort of outside of my wheelhouse. You got to always put a positive attachment onto it.
Yeah. How close did he push you from actually, have you thought about quitting? Like, I'm sure you thought about it, but did you ever get actually pretty close to doing so?
Sure. Yeah, I did. But it was one of those deals where I wouldn't give him the satisfaction.
Right. Yeah.
I like,
but kind of the same thing with my acting career. I mean, I'll never forget, when I first came to Hollywood, I think it was Hollywood, or was it New York? Anyway, there was an open call for Nina Blanchard's modeling agency, and Nina Blanchard was a huge modeling agent. And, I had these pictures that I had taken professionally, and, they took my photos back to Nina to go look at in another room, and then they brought it back out and they said, basically, thank you, but no thank you. And I was like, gosh, I was like, fuck it, on to the next. Fuck her, I'll show her. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's a mentality to have, because I might leave crying. It's just, that was really rude. You couldn't have just said, I mean, I guess she said no, but fuck.
But Sean, too, the thing, because I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu off and on over a decade. And there's a difference between bullying and what a mentor does to push you. Can you kind of speak on what that is, so that
I think mentors it's an incredibly important relationship. Almost everybody that's really successful has had a mentor. Bill Gates has had Warren Buffett. I mean, was it, Aristotle had Plato. I mean, anybody who's really achieved anything of consequence, you probably can trace it to somebody that was their mentor, because, this is somebody that's walked the path that you want to walk and can kind of show you where the pitfalls and the mines are, and also hopefully introduce you to some people that are going to allow you to circumvent, some of the challenges, but also challenge you so that you learn to do these things for yourself.
So oftentimes that we perceive people, or this person's got it all together and they've got no issues, and we kind of forget that everyone that's walking around with us has internal and external issues and things that are going on all the time. And it really, even though it does have some good humorous moments and drama, but it really has a lot of heart to it in that regard. Because
I love that saying that you never know what private war someone else is fighting. Yeah. And it's true. Everybody's got their battles that they fight. Sure. And I think that's a reason to try and be, as understanding and compassionate as you can to other people.
Yeah. Everybody's got their own shit going on.
Yeah, everyone's got their own shit.
And with that said, let's talk about the great work you're doing with anti-bullying campaigns, and which is so awesome. Full circle from childhood, all that shit. And now you're just trying to, not only educate those that get bullied, but maybe those that are bullying as well.
Sure. So I'm very involved with an organization called Buddha Bullying. I'm the Young Man's Youth Ambassador. We go to schools and do a presentation, facilitate a dialogue with the kids. We discuss how bullying is really a triangle. There's the person getting bullied, there's the person doing the bullying, and then the kids who are affected by being kind of the bystanders. And it's traumatic for everybody. And it's amazing. When I get up and speak, I start by showing a clip of me from Karate Kid 3 when I'm terrorizing Daniel LaRusso. And I said, would you believe that scary guy used to get bullied? And right, it sort of snaps them into what? And it allows me to bridge the fact that I'm a guy in my 50s talking to a bunch of, teens and pre-teens, because why would they ever listen to an old guy like me? And it gives me some street cred with them so that I can start to have a dialogue with them. Suicide is the fourth leading cause of death among kids, which is tragic. And bullying is an incredibly important factor in that. And now, with the internet, cyberbullying is another pandemic. I mean, I'm not trying to minimize what we're going through, but with one stroke of a keyboard, kids are getting bullied to everybody in their school 24 hours a day. And it's just, when I was a kid, you got bullied on the way to school, at lunch, and on the way home. And now, kids are getting bullied nonstop.
Yeah.
And it's just so destructive. And so, it's something I'm passionate about. It's something that I really, it's work that I think is important and want to continue doing and kind of spread the message. And I just think that, if anyone's watching this, if you're a parent, you may get one shot at your kid or your younger brother or sister coming to you and being able to suck it up and say, hey, listen, I'm getting bullied. And if you're not receptive to it in that moment, they might not try and speak to somebody again. Sure, and so I think there's a responsibility on the side of adults to be vigilant and also to try and facilitate an environment where kids feel safe enough to talk about something that's highly, highly humiliating for them. It's just, there's nothing worse than, a young boy going to his dad and saying, hey, I'm getting the shit kicked out of me at school. You know what I mean? So all the cards are stacked against kids feeling comfortable enough to doing it. Mm-hmm. So when they actually are able to summon up the courage to do it, it's imperative that the adults are receptive to it and do something about it.
Yeah, and as word you've been using compassion, that's one of the things for me. Of course, Sean and you and I had a phone conversation, prior to going through, recovery with my addiction. That was one of the things that I had to start to learn, that as a man, I just didn't have to be this masculine thing, right, which I'm so far from anyways, but I could finally embrace that I have a spectrum of thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and they're all valid. They all deserve to be heard, to be understood, to realize, the best way I heard someone is, I think it was this gentleman, Tony Hoffman, we had on, who goes out and speaks to schools as well. He had crazy addiction history in prison as well. But that, we gotta not only focus on those being bullied, but those that are the bullies, because there's something going on there at home. It kind of goes back to there is no bad student, only bad teacher. And like you said, if we shut off that conversation, then when they try to talk to us and they're being failed at home, then they're being failed at school. Those two institutions, there's one other potential institution they could head towards eventually.
Absolutely. For sure. You hit the nail on the head. Like I said, it's a triangle. We really try and speak to not just the kids getting bullied, but the kids that are doing the bullying and the kids that are being affected by, witnessing it and feeling, that they can't do anything, or maybe they're part of the problem, cheering it on. There's a lot, a lot of different nanoshades of gray in behavior that need to be addressed.
Well, Sean, we like to, before we give you kind of the final word and the positive message, wrap it up with some rapid fire questions. You don't have to be too rapid. You could give them some thought, but, they're all in good fun. So fire away, Mikey.
All right. If you can have dinner with anybody you wanted, dead or alive, who would it be?
Wow. Gosh, look, I'm not even that religious, but I got to go with JC. I mean, I got
that one. We've gotten that one.
Yeah.
You and Lamar Odom. Yeah, same answer.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
Well, listen. There's a lot of knowledge there. There's a lot of mystery there. As to, hey, tell me about age 0 to 33. I mean,
right.
I don't know. And I think there would be the possibility of some life-changing epiphanous information and spiritual connection that would be really interesting. I mean, a close second would be Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha. I mean, I think that'd be really interesting. I mean, as much as like Einstein was fascinating, I don't know that I'd have a whole lot that he'd be interested in hearing, or that I might not totally a whole lot of what he was saying.
Sean, the E equals the MC squared. It's just that simple. Do it.
You're like, well, this was fun. Let me get the check.
check, please. Pass it to Mr. Einstein.
Fire away, Jason.
All right. What are some of your pet peeves, if any?
Oh, okay. I got two, and they're really stupid. I can't stand when you were in an office building and the bathroom requires a key. Okay? Yeah, I hate that. And as a corollary to that, I can't stand when you actually go in the stall and you pull the toilet paper out and it's as if somebody has taken one of those large wrenches and tightened it so that it just pulls off little by little. Those are stupid. Those are pet peeves.
Those are stupid and I hate them.
Like, I don't like cruelty. I don't like blah, blah, blah. Of course, nobody likes that shit, right? Yeah. I don't like waiting in line. I've got an absolute lack of patience, which is something that I work on diligently.
So if the wife says we're going to Disneyland, Sean, you're like, oh fuck.
Right. All right. I don't like crowds either. Not that I dislike people, but I don't like crowds. What else? And a pet peeve is really something with myself. I'm not the sharpest spoon in the drawer when it comes to technology. Although my wife is like my in-house IT guy. Like she can build computers literally. So like it doesn't affect me that much. But like if I was on my own, I'd be very angry with myself because I'm just not great with technology and things like that.
That's Jason for sure. I don't know shit about computers and all that stuff. I'm like, hey, how do you get this thing on that over there? Like, what do I need to do here? Yeah, so I get what you're
Press
saying.
the button.
Yeah. Oh, all you got to do is here and then this key and then that. I'm like, just fucking do it. I don't know. All right. Okay. If they were to make a movie about you, Mr. Kanan, who would you cast to play you and why?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Come on, man. Come on. You got this.
Who would I cast to play me? I'll tell you who I would cast to play me. I would cast a young Robert Downey Jr. Not that he and I really have anything in common, but I just think he is such a phenomenal actor that, let me amend that. I think it would be really funny to watch Nick Cage play me. I don't know why. I would like to see Nicolas give me like an acid trip. I'd like to see Nicolas Cage version of playing me. Yeah, I just think.
I could just see some sort of scene where he's like, playing you, calling your folks. Yeah, I got Karate Kid 3. I'm gonna be a badass.
I would love that.
Oh shit, that's the best answer ever. Oh hell. And do you think if it was Nick Cage, it would have to be a comedy, like in the vein of Raising Arizona or something?
Oh, for sure, like that, or like everything he does has got comedy in it. I mean, like The Rock, and that would be my guy.
Yeah, like I always love the scene with him and Connery. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. He's like, my lady was the prom.
And that was played by Vanessa Marcel, who I was on General Hospital with.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Nice. All right, let me see here. I was going to ask who's your biggest inspiration. Well, okay, so you did talk about your sensei being a huge inspiration and mentor. Do you think he's your biggest inspiration and mentor in life?
No, I have to say probably my father. I mean, both my parents. My parents have both given me a lot of love and very good advice over the years. My uncle Jeffrey, who is he's a doctor. I've been very close with him all of my life. Sensei Fumio Demura, who was Pat Morita's stunt double, was somebody else who has been very important in my life. My acting teacher, the late Roy London. I think at different times in my life, different people have had significant importance. But it does kind of take a village. At least with this guy, it does.
What would you say your greatest achievement is? What do you think it is?
It's my marriage to my wife. I really think that. I think that
that's awesome. That's a good one.
I think that getting Michelle to marry me has really helped me become such a different and better guy. A guy that I was not able to be without her. I mean, I think it was always in me, but I just think that it's really allowed me to kind of spread my wings and at least be on the path to being the guy that I've always wanted to be.
Yeah. Did she take some coaxing, Sean? I mean, were you just, no, we really need to do this. I don't know.
To marry me? No, I have to be honest. It was kind of love at first sight. I saw her, and she was literally yelling and complaining to a girlfriend of hers about something, and I was like, "Yep, that's the girl for me. I'm marrying her."
Well, it's and I hope people really hung on what you said about marrying her and what it's made for you. I read that saying the other day, and I'm gonna probably fuck it up, but you're truly in a good place in a relationship when it makes you love yourself more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for
I think
sure.
I nailed it.
I got another one I like. The right one will make you, the wrong one will break you. And
fucking A. And we both, we know what you're talking about, buddy. Let me tell you. We just looked at each other at the same time, like, yup.
Nailed that shit, you did. Mike, you got any more? Another one there?
All right. What is something some people would be surprised to learn about you? What is somebody people don't know about you? Okay, I'm totally butchering that. What is something about you that people would be surprised to learn? There we go.
Well, on the stupid side, that I talk to myself constantly, which is just bizarre, and I don't know why I do it, but I do.
I do too.
I talk to myself all the time. I'm a real dog lover. Love dogs. I am very fascinated with foreign languages. I study Italian and I study Mandarin. It's something that I always, at some point or another, am studying some language. So maybe that's something that they would not know about me. And I love to cook.
Oh, nice. Damn it, we should have got him up here and just, hey, Sean, what do you want to cook tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Well, in wrapping up, Sean, this has been a total blast and a pleasure. But what kind of words of inspiration can kind of lend to people? Of course, all of us, as of this recording, the COVID's still in effect. The holiday seasons we've gone through. You can just kind of lend to people that from your life experience.
I think the first thing, which is going to sound cliche, but it's true, is that it can't rain all the time. This too shall pass. And as we're coming into the holidays, I think the holidays really tend to amplify everything, both positive and negative. And unfortunately, a lot of people are not going to be able to spend time with the people they love, and that's really difficult. And I would just say, the best way that I know to get out of yourself is to try and reach out and make someone else feel good, connect with them. I also think that it's really important that, we don't just survive, but we thrive. Take this time when you're home and God forbid you're not one of the people that, can't work, or if you are, find something that you can do that is going to bring value to your life and someone else's. For me, I've taken this time to really work on my book, and to prep getting Studio City done. That's been kind of the stuff that I've done to thrive. And then I'd say on a bigger note, and it's one of the things I talk about in my book, is that you need to really figure out what your success is. Not success as defined by Madison Avenue commercials and some the conspicuous consumption of some celebrity's Instagram feed, but figure out what your internal barometer says success means to you, because ultimately you're only competing against yourself. And if you don't have an idea of what success means to you, it's like getting in a car and not knowing the destination. So I guess clarity, deciding what it is that you want to do, and just try to take this time to shift into gear and make it happen.
We should all be nice to one another.
Agreed.
That's what makes, I think if there was more of that going on in the world, it'll be a better place,
Oh, no, that's been a shitstorm, especially the last 2 years, right?
I think hopefully with everything that happened, I think people are more nicer now. Mm-hmm. Because of the,
I don't know.
Epidemic. No, or you're right. Or
depends on who you're living with.
Have gotten a little bit more bitter because of it. But I think, it opened up a lot of people's, eyes of how to be in the world.
Sure. Well, I know for me, and especially with what we're doing, seeing not only the large amount of relapse, because we do focus in that addiction area. And I know for me, there was times that it was like a lot of anxiety and everything else, but with mental health and everything.
I know, that's sad. I know. I mean, because I took my daughter for a physical 2 days ago, and she had to fill out questions about depression.
Right.
And she's 12, and she was, they all had to do that this year. And I know a lot of that has gone on. It's sad but thank God, knock on wood. I mean, my kids were good.
Yeah.
They kind of liked being home. They liked doing school from home.
It was cool being home, like when because I took a week off of work when this whole thing started, because it was supposed to last 2 weeks. Here we are 2 years later. But it was cool being off, but it was weird because you felt like the apocalypse was going on outside. It was something that you can't see coming at you. So I thought that was the scariest part.
No, you're right. It was
I'll fight something that I can see, but if I can't see it, that's terrifying.
Because I was doing a lot of appearances.
Sure, yeah.
So I was on the road a lot, like today, like flying here, and then I'm flying to California right after this. It's like I'm used to that.
Right.
And then everything stopped and it was a standstill. I was like, all right, so I guess I'm taking a little break. So it was, I was fine with it. Because I was on the go so much.
Right.
But I know, I guess with some people, it affects differently. You know?
Well, you have 5, right?
4.
Okay.
4 daughters.
4. Yeah, and I'm a parent of 2. How did you kind of handle it with them? You said they like to be home.
Yeah, I mean, because they had a choice either to go to school or stay home, and they decided to stay home. They wanted to stay home, so I was like, okay. And tell you, because you know why? If they went to school anyway, there was not a lot of students there anyway.
Sure.
Were you kind of like, damn it? I wanted to stay home.
To tell you the truth, there was not much going on anyway.
Right.
Sure.
So, and they were in their rooms doing their thing, and so it was fine. I mean, and I was doing, like, if anything, Zoom stuff too.
Right.
So it was great that they were around because they're good with the computer, and I'm so not. So so they would help me with that.
I'm great with computers, right?
he is as shitty like I do all the tech stuff.
Well, I'm not good like that.
I did the tech stuff for like 10 minutes, and I had a migraine for the rest of the day. I'm just like, you do it.
I'm like, I have a Zoom call. Can you get me on? Get me on. Like, that's what I do.
Make this clickable. Jason, you figure it out.
Dating as a single parent is tough, and I have to ask you, of course, my situation a little different in recovery, and really trusting myself, but how with, going through it, the stuff you did with the divorce, post, the prison sentence and everything else, how did you kind of do that healing in that point of where it's like, I think I'm ready to date.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'm ready to let love in, because it's hard going through that to trust again.
Yeah, I know. I am a very strong person. I could have turned to alcohol or anything else like that. I mean, I always tell my daughters that because I want to be a good role model to them.
Sure.
Because listen, at times it was depressing, everything. And there was a lot that happened to me. It's like getting on TV, and I didn't really get to enjoy it.
Right.
Like I just said, the only time I enjoyed being on TV was this ultimate girls trip that we went to Turks and Caicos, because it wasn't like so it wasn't these women trying to attack me.
Sure.
Like on my show was a lot of that. Like when you're on top, and I wasn't even trying to be on top. Like I did that whole scene with flipping the table, whatever. I mean, that just really was genuine. Like I got pissed off, and I have that fiery Italian temper. I'm very passionate, and that's it. But really, normally, I'm like very easy.
I didn't like the table there, anyways. You probably did it. You did it.
I'm really easy to get along with, which I hope you guys can feel my vibe. Like I'm so easy. I'm very easygoing. I don't try to be a diva. I don't try to be anybody I'm not. But if someone comes after me, of course I stand up for myself, and I have no problem doing that.
Sure.
So, but on my show, it was like a lot of like everyone coming after me and trying to attack me and Joe, whatever. And I didn't know. I really didn't about anything. I know there was a lot of people that wanted to take us down. More say him, I guess. And I guess because we were married, it just happened to me too.
Yeah.
Which, at first, I was just like, really? This is really happening? So, and it did. And I accepted it like a champ. I did what I had to do. I'm like, really, God? I'm like, I never went to college. And like, this is the kind of college you want to send me to? Okay, fine. Meaning like when I went away to jail.
Yeah, that's a hell of a lesson. I felt like
I was living with, like I felt like I was in college, but a different kind of college. That's what I kept saying. Right? Yeah, I had a stricter dress code. Right.
Yeah,
I had to share, and really, because my daughter went to Rutgers, and she showed me her dorm, and then she had to share bathrooms. Like I'm like, this is what I had to do when I went away. I'm like, this is so crazy. And that's what I felt like. I'm like, I'm in college, but not the kind of college I wanted to be at.
Sure.
Like with just all women and everybody going down on each other, and not everybody, but some people.
Sure,
and I'm like, this is crazy.
Well, let me ask you this.
Like my first night, 2 women were going at it. I was just like, wow. I just put the covers over my head and I went to bed. Like, because there were 6 of us in the room.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so crazy. This is like, I'm watching a porn, but really I don't really want to watch this porn because I'm in the room with them. It's like, it was crazy.
Were you worried going in with being who you were, like that people were going to like target you just because of your celebrity? Well, not you, because you seem tough as nails.
Yeah, no.
I'd be tripping.
He'll just flip
I'd be like, oh gosh.
I'm not. I mean, listen, I don't try.
People knew
I'm
not to mess with you.
Yeah, everyone was really cool. That nobody messed with me at all. If anything, I mean, listen, I had some girls that were looking at me like the wrong way. I was like, I'm not trying to be tough, but I'm not, listen, I didn't walk in like trying to own the place or anything.
Sure.
And I was nice to everyone. I mean, it was kind of crazy. Like there was helicopter, like when I would walk outside on the track, there was helicopters flying over because they were getting tipped off when I was walking outside. They would put the place on lockdown because that was happening, and then people would get mad at me, and I'm like, it's not my fault. I'm like, what do you want me to do? It's like, I'm not, I don't want this. I don't want people flying all over the track while I'm here either.
Yeah.
So like, some people get mad because of that, and certain things. That's why I'm like, it's somebody that's a rat in here that's telling them what time I'm going to walk outside, and that this is why this is happening. Did
the inmates have phone access, or you're pretty sure it was guards?
Well, yeah, of course. They would get phones brought in.
Because you get paid to tip them off,
if you get caught with a cell phone, you would get put in the hole.
Yeah.
Like I never. Listen, because of who I was, I could not break any rules, because then of course someone would rat on me.
Oh yeah.
And I had no problem doing that. I followed all the rules, and like if you get caught with cigarettes, anything like liquor, anything you wanted, you could get in there.
Sure.
If you wanted it, you asked someone, you get it. Like the only thing I asked for was makeup. Yeah, and even if you get caught with certain makeup that they know it's brought in from the outside, you could still get in trouble for that.
So is it like where I've heard where you'll go and say work kitchen duty or whatever, and you earn a little bit of money, then there's like almost like the little store kind of, and they kept it, or is it you could get certain gifted stuff to you?
Like the Morgan Freeman on Shawshank?
No, like you get money put in your commissary every week, which was, I got, the most you could get put in was $300. And of course I would spend my $300 every week. Like Joe was like, my ex was like, really? Like, you spend all this money every week? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I want everything I want. Yes. And I was like really into like fitness. Sure. And I was like working out every day, and that's where I discovered yoga. And I meditated every day. I mean, I have to say, the view where I was so beautiful. I was in Connecticut, and like I have to say, I'm like, thanks God, I'm glad you put me at a beautiful place. Like going outside, it's just the view was breathtaking, and I was there for 4 seasons.
Sure.
So I saw all the change, and so I just meditated every day outside. And then when I came out, I loved yoga so much, and then that's when I got certified for it.
Right on.
And
So there was some really solid life transforming lessons for you.
There was. And it's like, it was a great, listen, I don't regret anything. It was part of my journey. That's what I tell my kids. I mean, my girls they're amazing. Like, they became who they are.
Yeah.
They're really strong because, seeing what I went through.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, I have 2 of my daughters that do see therapists, and I'm not embarrassed of it.
No.
Listen, they went through something really traumatic at a young age. I mean, I went away, then Joe went away, then their grandfather passed away, then their other grandmother passed away, and then my dad passed away.
Yeah.
And they were all really close to their grandparents, and they had a tremendous loss in a short period of time.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to deal with.
Sure.
That is a lot for anyone. And I know with my kids, because I have a son on the autism spectrum, so sometimes having to deal with those
so
things.
is my boyfriend.
Yeah, so encouraging, that open dialogue. We were kind of talking here pretty early on that, about mental health, and it's such a huge part of it that hopefully, in like our mission here around addiction and mental health, ending that stigma that it's okay to say I struggle with this. It's okay that you have depression, anxiety, and addiction. It's okay to seek and get help, and there's nothing wrong with it. It makes you stronger. No. It's not a sign of weakness.
Oh, not at all. And if you listen, I tell my daughters, I'm like, I'll do whatever you guys want, because I want to listen. They've been through a lot, and like losing, their dad like never came home again.
Right.
Like I came home, he never came home.
Right.
So. Like my one daughter Melania, they were all really close to him.
Sure.
But my one daughter Melania, she was like, I remember like that day she didn't go to school when he left, and like they showed her on TV, like looking out the window as we're getting into the car,
right.
But like I try to give them as much love as I can, and they see that.
Yeah.
And then Louis came into my life, and he's so amazing. He really is, and he's so good to my girls, and that's what and they're so like grateful too, and
sure.
And I'm glad, I'm grateful too that I ended up meeting someone. Like, I'm gonna cry. That like I'm glad it was just one person, and it's like because I didn't want to bring like all like I wouldn't do that anyway. I wouldn't bring like a lot of men around my daughters, because I have daughters. I have 4 daughters. So I'm grateful that I got, I met him, and he was so amazing, and it just really worked out.
Well, Teresa, we like to have the guests give us kind of some final words through their experience and with life of encouragement to the listeners and viewers. But before that, we got some fun random questions for you here.
I have a question. It might be controversial, so, just be careful. It's a very big question.
Okay.
Would you rather fight 1 horse-sized chicken or 10 chicken-sized horses?
Oh my God!
There is a right or wrong answer here, Teresa. The world is watching right now.
All right.
Which one is it?
Wait, say it again.
1 horse-sized chicken.
1 horse-sized chicken.
Or 10 chicken-sized horses. Those are some strong chicken-sized horses.
So 1 horse-sized chicken. So all right. Or what?
Or 10 chicken-sized horses.
Chicken.
So picture 10 chickens, but they're horses.
Oh, but they're little.
But they're horses.
Or 1 big
horses
one.
are still strong.
Yeah, but they're all right. So 10 or 1 big one. Maybe 1 big one.
Really?
Yeah.
Think about
because then it's one-on-one.
But 1 peck of a chicken the size of a horse?
Well, maybe then there's 10 of them. You don't know where they're pecking.
Here's
and
my
I'll be
thought.
like, trying to push them off.
I help you take care of it, and then you cook up my favorite Italian dish, some chicken parm. What do you think?
Yes.
And he's a vegetarian, so he doesn't get a joint.
I'll do eggplant.
Oh, yeah.
But that was a 2-parter question. And also, what does it take to get me on the Housewives? I'm not a housewife, obviously, but we could fit me in somewhere.
I mean, I don't know if they would fly out to Fresno to do a podcast.
No, I'll go there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So then we
let's
could
go
do
there.
it. Then you come to Jersey, and we'll do a podcast.
I'll be like the busboy or something when you guys are all out dinner or something.
Okay.
When you guys are at dinner, I'll just like refill your water.
We could do a podcast in Jersey, though. So
There you go.
Rent a studio, and we'll do it in Jersey.
I haven't been there forever.
Or New York.
Yeah, I haven't been in there forever. Favorite curse word?
Favorite curse word? I don't know. I don't. Fuck. Wait, you have.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It's a noun. It's a verb. It's an adjective. It's an adverb.
No, is bitch better?
Oh, bitch.
Yeah, it's
I
bitch
can see
better.
that.
No.
mean, you don't put up with shit. I could just see like, bitch, don't
really,
start.
Yeah. I'm like, no. Remember on the show? I don't know if you watched it. Like she said, I'm like, I called her honey. She's like, don't call me honey. And I said, oh, is bitch better? And it just came out like that's.
I'm gonna use that.
I was like trying to be nice, and then she's like, don't call me honey. I'm like, oh, is bitch better? Like I was like,
so bitch
what?
Then we'll go with bitch. That's that's the winner.
Let's say bitch.
Want to do the final word?
One more fun one. It's a good one.
Okay.
If you were on a deserted island, oddly there's power and a movie and or music listening device, one movie and one album, music album you would take with you.
One music and one album.
One music album, one movie.
Okay, one music album, Versace on the Floor by Bruno Mars.
Nice.
Oh no! I mean, I like that song, but you know what I love? Sade.
Oh, really? We're going back a little bit.
Yes, I like Sade,
Yeah.
like Ed Versace. I like both of them, so I don't have to be as strong.
Do you have a favorite movie? A movie that if you were on that island, you would love to have?
Something that I would watch over and over again.
On an island, you gotta love the movie.
I mean, I have to say, The Godfather.
Yeah. How do you not like Coppola?
Because
Come on,
like
it's The
I like, you know
Godfather.
why I like The Godfather? Because it's like who I represent. It's about loyalty and respect.
Sure.
And I'm all
That's
about
such an
that.
Italian answer. I love
No,
it.
I know, and I'm just saying that I'm all about that.
Yeah,
you know?
for
And
sure.
I love that. Well, if there's, obviously we'll have a good amount of your fans tuning in, but people that are maybe struggling with mental health and how you've come through your adverse situations, or it might even correlate to someone with addiction.
I know. There's another thing I want to say, like,
please.
about mental health. Like, you know, my daughters are going through stuff, and I was just like, I mean, I know I guess it's just the way God created me, and you know how I am, and the way my parents made me who I am. I am a very, very strong person. Like, I don't know, I just am. I don't know, it's just the way I am. So I tell my daughters, like, and Melania's like, you know, like when she struggles through things, I'm like, I don't get it. Like, why? Like, just be like, I try to do everything. They tell me to jump, I say how high. Because like, you know, I'm a single parent, and I was like, I always want to make them happy because of everything that happened. I always feel guilty. So I'm like, well, Melania, what's the matter? Like, I do everything for you. Like, what's the problem? And then when I talked to the therapist that she was going to, she's like, no, you have to acknowledge their feelings. Like, you have to say, okay, I understand you feel this way. Because I had to learn how to talk like that. Because I'm like, you know, I grew up like, just like, stop. Like, you know, my father would look at me and I was scared. Like, I would literally even pee on my pants. Like,
We were talking about that father look before you got here.
My dad has the same look.
So I was like, now it's like, you know, the kids it's different nowadays, you know. So I would be like, so now it's like, that's what I learned from our therapist. Like, you have to say, like, if someone's not, you know, if they're sad and they're depressed or anything or whatever they're feeling, you have to acknowledge their feelings. So make sure, like, if you know, if someone's going through that, make sure you acknowledge their feelings and you know, hear them and then help them, you know, work it out. So yeah, like right now I'm gonna get, you know, my daughters have seen therapists, but I'm working on them getting life coaches.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm all about that. At first, I used to not be about that. Right. If you watch the show, I used to be like non to therapy because of who I am a strong person. But look, I have 4 daughters. They're all different. Yep. And I want to do the right thing by them. So, and if that, you know, I want to, you know, if they need help, of course I want to get it, you know, get it for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I'm all about that now. Yeah, always doing the right thing. Listen, I'm still learning.
Yeah,
like we learn every day. It's like, you know, we don't grow. We're not perfect. None of us are perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm still learning. You know, even though I'm 29. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, 29 with a few anniversaries. Yeah.
How old do I look? If you didn't
good.
know, how old?
I was gonna say like 24, 25.
Thank you. No, that's a little too young. I mean, no.
Early 30s.
I like that.
Early
Good
30s.
answer. See that?
Yeah.
See that,
So,
Mikey?
hey, huh? I would do better with
said
the women on
24.
the East Coast, huh?
How old are you, Mikey?
I am 33.
That's good.
Single dad of a dog. Her name's Lola. Shout out to Lola.
How cute. That's
Just
good,
kidding.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
You have a lot of tattoos.
I do. Yeah. I got a couple. A little addiction.
Doesn't he look like the one he should have been in prison, right?
Yeah, I know. Carrie was telling you guys they were going to say that.
Are you good with that?
I'm fine.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Listen, I'm so cool. Yeah.
I love it. Well,
I know. Like, my dad never liked tattoos. Like,
my dad still hates
my
them.
dad said, if you get a tattoo, I cut your head off. Like, that's what
cut
he told
your
me
head
and my
off.
brother.
He makes me eat outside for Sunday dinner.
Yeah, so, I mean, Okay, we have to go. Yeah. So then anyway, but so I got this for him. I know, it is what it is.
Your heart was in the right place when you got it. It wasn't like you were acting out or trying to be rebellious.
Yeah,
you got it for him,
exactly.
so I'm sure he gets that.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Teresa, this has been
Thank
really
you
cool.
so much.
Thank
this
you.
was awesome. You guys were awesome.
You
Thanks
were
for
as
having
well.
me.
Thanks for being on.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Wanting a relationship is something that I've always wanted, and before getting sober, I've only been in a few relationships, and the longest one was about 1.5 years, and she was also sick, so it was like it was very toxic, and who knew if that was like real feelings or not? There was a lot of heroin involved, so it's like who knew what that was? Right. And then when I got sober, I started dating like a bunch of chicks here and there, nothing really serious, and then like I met one girl and like she broke my heart. I thought I was in love, but now knowing that I wasn't. And then the only girl that really fucked me up was this chick down in Texas. And she was really young. She was 20 and like she just didn't know what she wanted. And then like again, it looked good on paper. And but she really fucked me up. But I still really wanted that relationship, so I'm always searching for it. And then somehow I met this amazing girl. And she's so smart. She's from Tunisia, North Africa. She's only been in the States for 6 years, and she's older than me. She's like 38, and she has her shit together. And she's so smart. She speaks 7 different languages like fluently. And so I'm like, why is this girl even attracted to me? She's so smart. You know what I mean? Like it makes no sense. And then like my PTSD from past relationships starts like coming in the picture. I'm like, all right, this is too good to be true. Something's gonna up, so I'm like waiting for that to happen,
or just like searching for like a flaw, and you're like, that's why you're single.
Exactly.
She's got a bunion. That's it. I'm
exactly. And then like, but she has 2 kids too, right? So it's like, okay, I'm coming into a relationship where she has 2 kids, 7 and 9, and am I like? I asked my sponsor. I asked all my other peers in recovery. I'm like, do you think this is a good idea? Like, doing what I do, I travel a lot. Do you think it's a good idea to be with somebody that has kids? And somebody said something that made a lot of sense to me. They're like, well, mothers put their children before anything, right? So that means you would have to put them before anything. If you really like this girl, you have to put them before anything. Which made a lot of sense to me. So then I like really started to think about it. I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe this is what I've been wanting, that little family environment thing, and so I took a shot at it, and it's been going really well. And
that's cool.
There hasn't really been any trust issues as far as like anything bad like that. She smokes a lot of weed, smokes a lot of hash, but that really...
Does that bother you? Like, because you were mentioning earlier resentment towards not being able to take a hit, like...
So...
We're all honest here, bro.
Yeah, so
it's okay.
so 90% of the time it doesn't bother me.
Okay. What about the 10%? In what situations does it?
So 10%, it's like when I was hurt for a week.
Okay.
And I wanted to sleep good.
Sure.
And she's like, dude, she literally smokes joint after joint after joint. Like, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I thought I was a pothead. And I'm just like looking at her, and she's so relaxed, and I'm just like, I'm in pain, can't move, and like I can't sleep, and I'm like getting pissed that I can't do that, and she's not very educated as far as like recovery and sobriety and stuff like that. So I'm trying to explain to her like I can't do this because there's a possibility that it might lead to other things. It might not. Who knows? You know. But I don't want to take that risk.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to like, because she's just like, just take a hit, you'll be fine, you'll sleep good. And I'm just like, I can't.
Yeah.
She doesn't know about the program. She doesn't know about all that kind of thing. She's I don't want to say ignorant, just not educated.
Well, ignorant's a good word. People think that it's such a harsh thing to say, and it's not. It's like,
we made it that way.
We did.
Yeah.
Because like if I don't know shit from Shinola about certain things. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, but we've been together for a few months now, and it's going really well. It was like I was saying, I've always wanted this, and now that I finally have it, I was like, oh shit, maybe this is kind of scary, but scary in a good way.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like fear because sometimes fear pushes me more to do something.
It's a necessary emotion.
Totally.
And I think people shy away from that reality too often.
Yeah, I think a lot of growth comes from pushing through fear.
Yeah.
And that comes down to everything in my life, as far as like either making content or doing a stunt or public speaking or anything that I'm like very uncomfortable doing, pushing through that fear. Like so much growth comes from that. Yeah.
What is her perspective on what you do for a living? She's like, that's cool as shit, or whatever, pal. Or
So,
like,
we the way that we met was Facebook dating.
yeah.
Really weird.
Wait,
Facebook dating.
that's like a
That's
It's got a dating app.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
Yeah, if you have a Facebook account, you can create like a dating thing.
no
Yeah.
shit. Everything's a dating app,
Yeah,
now, bro.
it's the new age, man.
Well, I don't have Facebook, so I didn't know about that.
Yeah. And so that's how we met. And usually I'm the one to DM, because when I'm on these dating things like Tinder or Bumble, I'm on there for one purpose. Those kind of things, I'm just looking to have fun.
Yeah.
That's it. And usually I'm the one to DM, and I DM exactly what I want right away. Like I don't have time to bullshit around and fucking small talk. Like I want one thing and that's it. She DMs me first, and she's just said some corny shit. She was just like, those eyes are the eyes that I'd want to wake up to every morning. And I was just like, oh shit, okay. You know, like, I was like, okay, dope. And then we started talking a little bit, and then me and Zach had to go film something. I was like, yeah, I'll call you tomorrow. We got to go film. And she's like, film? What do you mean film? I was like, oh, me and my buddies, like, we make stupid content. And then she Googles me, and I didn't hear from her for probably a month and a half. She totally ghosted me. And then I'm like texting her. I'm like, what's up? And like I found out she had COVID, so I'm just like making sure that she's okay, but I'm like no response. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I'm not chasing this chick. Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm just gonna go somewhere else. And then finally she calls me back after like a month and a half, and she's like, hey, sorry I ghosted you. I found out who you and your friends were, and like I just figured that you guys have all these girls around you all the time. And I'm just like, I'm surrounded by homoerotic guys 99% of my day. Like,
Did you see my
like
buddy
that.
drink something out of my other buddy's ass crack?
Exactly. And then and she like laughed at that, and then I was like, all right, we started talking for a while, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna ask this chick out, but I want to do it in a way that where like she can't say no. So I Googled how to say something in French, because she speaks fluent French. So I said that to her in French, and she was just like mind blown. And we went on a first date, and then like...
Was she pissed you couldn't speak French in person?
No. Dude, it's crazy. She speaks French, Arabic, German, Italian, Tunisian, English, but she understands 20 other languages.
Wow.
It's bananas.
Yeah, but speaks fluent in 7 of them. It's insane.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And then that Liquid Death video that I made with Zach, me drinking water out of his asshole. It's just like she sees something like that, and she's just like she wasn't there when I was filming it, thank God, but like when she like I think I was next to her when she finally saw it, and I like look over to her, and she's just shaking her head, and I'm just like, God damn it.
Did she still kiss you after that?
Yeah.
Liquid Death, if you'd like to come back on as a sponsor.
It's because I showed her this new. We're starting to do more skits, like
cool.
less stunty stuff, more skits with a little bit more acting. And we did something a couple weeks ago, and it was finally done yesterday. And I'm like showing it to her, and she's not laughing or anything. And I'm just like, is it not funny? Like, I think it's hilarious. Am I just dumb? Like, and I'm just like, babe, did you like it? She goes, no, it's really funny. But then I look up, and you're right next to me. I got puked on by Zach in the skit. So she's like, yeah, no, it was funny. But then I look up, and you're sitting right next to me. So I'm like, okay, you are my boyfriend now, and you're getting puked on by Zach, which is disgusting. So like, she looks at it in a different way.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, even if she didn't think you're funny, that's fine, because Will Ferrell's wife doesn't think he's funny.
That's right.
So it's just kind of like, if your
Yeah.
significant other doesn't think you're funny, maybe you're on the right track.
Yeah.
He's a funny motherfucker.
So I'm such an attention seeker that like I need you to tell me that I'm funny, or I need you to tell me that my content is good.
Right.
You know, I'm tough like that, dude.
It's that weird validation.
Yeah.
I know what you mean though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the most like insecure. It's great to have Mikey like, no man, it's a good episode.
Yeah.
Did a good job. Are you sure, buddy?
Yeah.
You know.
I used to, before I started making my own content, I was like Zach's filmer, the Too Stupid to Die filmer, and then like when I started making my own content, I made it I wanted just the bros to like it. I didn't care about anybody else. I just wanted the validation from the bros, right? So I would DM a video to Kyler or Chadwick, and I'd be like, "Yo, is it good?" And like once they told me it was good, I'd be like, "All right, sick. Maybe I'm onto something here," you know. And then I started making my own content. And I'm such a narcissist that I'll watch my own content over and over and over again, whether it's to like learn from it, maybe I'm doing something wrong, or camera angles or anything like that. But literally, I think it's just because I like watching my own stuff.
He and I are so different because he like I listen back to every episode or watch it. He's like, yeah, no, I don't like that.
I hate hearing myself.
Me too.
When I first did this
I hate my voice.
podcast ever, I apologize to like everybody who's ever met me. I'm like, I'm sorry you had to hear me talk. I didn't know I sounded like this.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Well, and we hear ourselves differently, you know. It's like it's not how people hear us, and everyone hears differently, you know.
I had this music phase back in like my late teens where I wanted to make music. I wanted to be a rapper, and so I like started making music. And then when I heard the sound of my voice on a song, I was just like, I'm never doing this again.
Hey, you know what? At least you notice that, because there's a lot of people who I know that, you know, are trying to become rapper, and you know, good for them. But I'll never forget what T.I. said. T.I. was like, you know, a lot of people say chase your dreams, you know, strive for greatness, all that, never quit. Some people just need to know when to stop. And when he said that, I was like, that's so true. And I can think of a couple people in my head that need to take that advice. But, you know, more power to them, man. If that's your goal, then go for it.
I think everybody my age at that time wanted to be a rapper.
Of course.
I think even still, like, it's like...
Dude, when 8 Mile came out, we all thought we were rappers. You know what I'm saying? We're all freestyling against each other. We're just like, yeah, well, you're stupid and your mom sucks. You know, like, how do I rhyme that?
Like, I the last time I went back to Connecticut, one of the bros who I was making music with, he like whips out the only CD that we had, and like I'm listening to it, and I'm like 16, 17 at the time, and like we're saying words that should not be said, and I'm just like, oh my god, I need this. Like, this can't be put out anywhere. So I'm like, dude, give this to me. He goes, no, I'm not giving it to you. I was like, I'll give you $100 for it right now. He's like, all right, fine. So I have it in my car right now, and nobody will ever have access to it.
That must be destroyed, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit, howdy. Random questions, Mikey. You want to fire off first?
Would you rather fight 1 horse-sized chicken or 10 chicken-sized horses?
1 horse-sized chicken or 10 chicken-sized horses?
Yep.
Oh man,
I know.
Where the do you come up with this thing?
Again, the internet. And I've gotten a lot of different answers. So,
really?
Yeah, you would think it would be 1, but I've gotten a lot of different ones.
We just spoke with Chuck Liddell. He said he'd fight them all.
Andy Royce said the same thing. He goes, I want to fight all of them.
That's a good impression. I would probably say 10 chicken-sized horses.
You would think, yeah, but we had another guest have a good way of looking at it. She goes, ants, tarantulas are killed by ants because there's just an army of them. But if you get on the ground and you have 10 chicken-sized horses, you're but if you have a horse-sized chicken peck you, you're
yeah.
So you got to pick one.
That's a rough one.
And not to mention chickens, I've said this before too, but it is scary. Chickens can live without their heads.
That's true, huh?
So if you cut off the son of a bitch's head, he's still running around. I don't know, man. You would think you could punt the little bastards.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Did Vinny give us an answer?
I would say 10 chicken-sized horses,
okay. This is always a fun one. Stranded on an island, somehow you have a way to play music and a way to watch a movie. One movie, one music album that you would have with you on a stranded on an island.
Movie. What's a movie that I could watch? Fear and Loathing, maybe. I've seen that movie hundreds of times and it's never old.
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street's good too. I could watch that over and over and over.
That would kill a lot of time on the
Yeah.
Like
as far as music goes, man, lately, I don't know, dude. I've been like MCR, dude. I've been rocking to a lot of MCR lately. My Chemical Romance. I don't know what it is, dude. I've just been like jamming that shit hard.
We're just feeling an emo phase.
Yeah, dude. It's all good. Whenever I want to get in my feelings, I throw that on.
Right? I just want to feel my feelings.
Yeah.
If you could travel anywhere in time, in the past or in the present or in the future,
yeah.
or no, you got to travel. where would you go?
I'd probably go in the past, probably to the 60s.
To the 60s?
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool in the 70s. But
The
bring a
70s would be-
skateboard, bring a
Yeah.
2020 skateboard,
Yeah.
2021, to the 70s.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Dude, that'd be gnarly.
That'd be
Everybody'd
sick.
be like, who the fuck?
yeah.
What is it? What's a kickflip? What's that?
Yeah.
It's like,
In
you
the
would be on
future,
those magazines.
someone-
We'd be pro.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna do a 900 revolution.
Yeah.
What? Wait, I swear. Wait.
He's a fucking demon.
Yeah, we can't fuck it up too bad because we might fuck up Tony Hawk's
The future,
presence.
yeah.
Because you got to be careful in the past. Like if you step on a bee, Ashton Kutcher was never born or
Yeah.
something. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's just like
Can't
You
do
got
that.
Doc
Can't
Brown.
ruin Tony
Vinny,
Hawk.
you're gonna mess up the timeline.
Yeah.
you can't fuck up Tony Hawk.
Can't
He's
do
a
that.
legend.
I look up to that dude so much, and he still hasn't followed me yet. And I know he knows who I am, and he follows all the other bros except for me, and it makes me so fucking mad.
He follows me.
No, yeah, he doesn't
I'm
follow
just
me,
kidding,
dude.
he doesn't follow me.
Hey, dude, we're in the same boat. It's like,
Tony, follow us,
come
bro.
on. Come on.
If you're
Mr. Hawk.
watching, and we know you are.
and we know you are.
Follow us, Tony.
Yeah.
Come talk with us.
Yeah.
No, because that's a lot of people too. It's like, God, that person would just be dope if they understood what we do
Yeah.
and why we do it, they would want to talk to us.
Yeah.
But it's like, all right, they're
Yeah.
busy living life and doing shit.
That I always joke around. I'm like, when the day when Tony Hawk follows me is the day that I've made it. And that's I'm sticking to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're working on all this stuff. Is what one person that you haven't worked with yet that you would like to?
Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk.
Tony
for sure,
Hawk.
man.
Yeah. Tony Hawk. That's pretty much it. Really,
Yeah.
Tony Hawk's on the top for me.
Yeah.
And I know it's coming.
Yeah.
I know it. Like I have a feeling it's coming. Whether it's like working directly with him or working on a project with him, I know it.
Yeah.
It's coming. Yeah.
Oh, we're celebrating that one.
Yeah.
We're gonna you're
Yeah.
gonna get a text message with 9 million of those.
I was like, I'm sponsored by this company it's like a skate company called Bad Grease, and Jason Ellis is on the team, and and the owner of Bad Grease is like, hey, we want you and Ellis to do some sort of like Bad Grease promo together, and Ellis has been skating with Tony at the Bird's Nest a lot recently, and he just started a new podcast with Tony. So I'm like starting to like think, how can I like make this happen? So I like came up with this idea of me on fire on the half pipe, and like Jason like comes and like hand plants my head while I'm on fire, like I'm like laying down, like my head's over the coping, and he like hand plants my head while I'm on fire, and I was like, but I want to do it at the Bird's Nest, and they won't pitch it. They won't pitch it to Jason because Jason doesn't want to ruin the friendship with him and Tony.
Well, Tony be like, dude, don't fucking light my ramp on fire.
Yeah.
Now, is it something like? Would you ask him to follow you, or he has to organically?
Organically.
Follow you? Okay, so
Organically.
that's
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, will you follow me? Sure, that's not a major
That doesn't work.
situation.
No,
Okay.
no.
We
fucking
promise
way.
if you get him to follow you, we won't be cherry picking sons of bitches. Hey, Vinny, like if you wanna.
Yeah.
Lots of people, man, out there, especially through all this COVID struggling. I've lost someone recently to this, as you said, up disease of addiction and people falling off. If could lend some good, encouraging words for those watching. I mean, even mental health or just a loved one too.
Yeah.
Struggling.
And I've always said this, and I will forever say this. It's just continue to do the next right thing. Continue being honest with yourself and everybody around you, and help somebody out every once in a while, and things will just fall into place.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like I said earlier, feelings pass. Some feelings last longer than others, but they'll pass.
Yeah.
And just like stay in touch with like people who f***ing love you. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Some people probably hate me calling so much, but it's like I love you, you love me. F*** it, I'm calling you. If I'm struggling, I'm calling you.
Yeah. Call me anytime.
Yeah,
I'll call you.
I'll take that offer up. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah, dude.
Skinny Vinny, thanks, brother.
Thank you, man. Thanks,
Awesome.
guys. This
Good
was
to-
fun.
Yeah,
Good to do
hell
it
yeah.
in person.
Yeah, this was great.
This is the Knockin Doorz Down Podcast, featuring celebrities, experts, and everyday people who have overcome adversities, including addiction, mental health, and trauma, to live purposeful lives. And that's what Knockin Doorz Down is all about.
This podcast contains the views and opinions of the Knockin Doorz Down hosts and their guests to the show. The content here should not be taken as medical advice. The content here is for informational purposes only. And because each person is sharing their unique perspective, please consult your healthcare professional for any medical questions. Views and opinions expressed in the podcast and website are our own and do not represent that of our places of work. While we make every effort to ensure that the information we are sharing is accurate, we welcome any comments, suggestions, or correction of errors. Privacy is of the utmost importance to us. For those wishing anonymity, people, places, and scenarios mentioned in the podcast have been changed to protect confidentiality at the request of certain guests. This website or podcast should not be used in any legal capacity whatsoever, including but not limited to establishing standard of care in a legal sense or as a basis for expert witness testimony. No guarantee is given regarding the accuracy of any statements or opinions made on the podcast or website. In no way does listening, reading, emailing, or interacting on social media with our content establish a doctor-patient relationship. If you find any errors in any of the content of this podcast or blogs, please send a message through the contact page. This podcast is owned by KDD Media Company.